So, welcome to my first video. In this video, we're going to go through some basic um, navigation and some basic terms around Google Sheets. And I'm going to go through the menus with you. I'm just going to do a quick run through the menus as we're going to actually look at each function later on in more tutorials. Now, if you are familiar with Microsoft Excel, then do yourself a favor and go right to the intermediate level of tutorials. Also, if you haven't checked out yet my video on why folks should use Google Sheets instead of Excel and the benefits of Google Sheets over Excel, basically my intro video to my channel, then I invite you to go and click on that and watch that before you even start. But let's get right into it. Now, to start a Google Sheet, you basically go and you need a Gmail account. But with a Gmail account, Google Sheets comes free. So you open up your Gmail account and you go to this little Google Apps little, I don't know what it is. It's a little square of dots. And you go to your Google Drive right here. I've got Google Drive open and I actually created a subdirectory in my Google Drive for Google Sheets for all these tutorials that we're going to go through. From here, you just click on New. You go down to Google Sheets, and you go, give me a blank spreadsheet. So I'm going to call this spreadsheet. So to rename your spreadsheet, you just go up here and you click on the name, and you just type in the name. It automatically saves the spreadsheet under the name that you select. So I'm just going to go basic lessons. We'll just use this spreadsheet for all of our lessons. So first of all, the area that you edit and the area that contains data is down here. Each one of these blocks is called a cell, and the cells are arranged in columns designated by letters and rows designated by numbers. Each cell can contain data, and that could be text, numbers, measurements, currency. It can be dates. It can be basically anything you want it to be. Up here is your menu bar, and here are some of the quick functions that you'll use regularly through Google Sheets. Things like your formats. So you can do text, like I said, numbers, percent. You can do scientific. You can do accounting, financial, currency. You can do currency rounded to the nearest dollar. Dates, time, etc., etc. You can customize these as well if you want to, but usually I would suggest just using the ones that are here. So your basic menu functions. You have file, and this is where you create new or open one, import data or make a copy, etc., etc. It's basically all your file functions, just like any other program. Under Edit, you have your undo and redo, cut, copy, and paste, and find and replace. Under View, you can show things like grid lines or remove grid lines, your formula bar, which is down here. That's your formula bar. You can freeze rows and columns. We'll deal with that in another tutorial. Group or ungroup various cells, and zoom or go full screen. In the insert, you can insert cells, rows, columns, another sheet. Pivot tables, we'll deal with pivot tables later on too. Checkboxes, drop downs, etc. It's basically adding things to your worksheet. You can format numbers, text, alignment, wrapping the text. I'll show you what that does in a later video. I'll show you what all these do in a later video. And your data. And this is where you do cleanup, things like removing duplicates, which is a function that you use a lot. Well, at least I use a lot. Data validation to create drop downs, etc. And of course, tools. Now this is things like the spell check and the autocomplete if you don't want it or want it on, enable formula suggestions, etc. And the extensions. Now, the extensions are things like macros or G connector, which I don't have on this, but I work for a company that uses G connector. And then the help menu, of course, if you need help, or there's a list of all the functions. The functions are basically the formulas. So that's basic navigation. So down here is a lot of the same things that you'll see up above. The undo, redo, print, paint format, zooming, and then your formats for each cell, what you want it, what kind of font, what size font, bold, italics, etc. Fill in cells with a different color, put borders around them. We'll show you all these in later videos. Right now, I'm just showing you where things are so you can find them later on. It's easy to find. So the last thing I wanted to show you is the share button. And with this, you can share with anybody with a Gmail account. You just basically pop it in, and you can select when you are sharing it, whether you want to give them view access, comment access, or edit access. And you can do various restrictions, like anyone with the link can do it, or it's restricted, only people with access can open it. Or you can copy the link to this spreadsheet and you can put it in an email, for instance, if you want. So we're going to hit done. But that is it for lesson 1. So that's the very, very basics of navigating through Google Sheets. So I hope you watch lesson 2. We're going to create a list and we're going to put in some various data, text, some numbers, and some dollar values. And I'm going to show you some basic formulas as well. All right. Thank you.